You all ready? You can come out. Come on. The barred rocks are learning now too. Before they kind of stayed back, a little skittish, but now they'll all come out. Just give them a minute. Oh yeah, look at you showing off, stretching them wings. There they go. Oh, there she goes. There she goes. Okay, so I got an interesting video for you guys today. I haven't made one of these in a while, talking about the government. We got the government officials showing up at our property unannounced and walking around the property, taking pictures of everything. We got a little footage of that I'll show you guys, but stay tuned. So after that, I'm going to talk about, we had an issue with this several years back at our old property. I'm going to go in more detail about that. Interesting story. They did not like me filming them years ago, and I never told this story. And I had a whole video made, never posted it, but I think now is the perfect time to share a little bit of that with you guys. So yeah, so we're gonna be doing some work today and talking about the government showing up at our property, local government. Enjoy. They're trying to raise our taxes. What do you think about that? Hey, taxation is theft, right? You'll never own anything in your life because they tax everything. We got the Mason County assessor over here. We're still not finished with the house. They came a few months ago. You know, they're just checking progress, which it is what it is. We all got to pay our taxes, right? Even though we don't agree with it, it's still part of it. And I don't like it, just like you guys don't. I always hear people say, I want to pay my fair share of taxes. I don't agree with it, but what are you going to do? Pay your taxes, they take your stuff. Randy, got to pay them taxes, don't we? Pay Uncle Sam, huh?
Absolutely.
That's what Nate thinks about taxes right there. They're gonna get taxed on my woodshed too, I think. Crazy. They ain't supposed to be able to tax your outbuildings.
All outdoors.
You're not supposed to be able to because you can sell them and move them and all that.
Well,
Wonder what Blue thinks about it. Blue, what do you think about it, buddy? Blue don't like it either, Andy.
oh yeah.
Crazy, oh yeah. So I was told they're not supposed to tax your outbuildings because what if I sell them? And then we're still paying taxes on them because they're not a permanent structure. We've had some dealings with this before in the past. Maybe I'll go into more detail about that later on in the video. They come onto our property and take pictures, and they get to measure everything just so they can raise their taxes. Crazy, because they're always, seems like they always come when we're not home, or when we were coming home, we meet them. This is the first time in like 10 years I've actually been home when they showed up. And I don't like it. Like, they just randomly show up, no courtesy call, nothing like that. So I need to get the gate up and put by appointment only, because we don't like it. We don't like people just randomly show up. I don't care if it's a county assessor or not. And yeah, we've had some run-ins with them before in the past. Nothing bad, but it could have went south pretty quick. We'll probably get a high tax bill now too. It's just nuts. I just can't stand it when people randomly show up on your property, it being the county assessor or not. Now, I'm okay with the mailman doing it. They're doing a good service. And I used to take up for the county assessors until I had a run-in with them. I always said, you know, they're just doing a job that no one wants to do. But I've come to find out that's not necessarily true here in our county. It's not that they're just doing their job. Is that there's a lot of shady stuff that goes on behind the scenes. A lot of politics behind the scenes also when it comes to certain people's land taxes going up, house tax, all that going up, and then other people's not. There's a lot to that. I've never really addressed it before on the channel, but since we're over here and we're working, I thought, heck, might as well pull my camera out, film a little bit of it. Literally walking around, looking at the sheds, probably my well house and all that. I don't know. I have to see what they end up taxing me for, but I could be wrong. But I've always been told they're not allowed to tax non-permanent structures, because like I said earlier, if I sell that shed or I sell that shed but I'm still getting taxed for it, makes no sense, right? But if it's permanent structure, okay, yeah, sure. But if it's not, that's not permanent. My loafing shed over there that we milled all the wood for is not permanent, but you still get taxed on it. Oh yeah, now they're measuring our little tiny cabin that has the cats. It's really the cat house. They're measuring the cat house, the big cabin for the cats. So we'll get taxed on that too, I'm sure. It's awesome. What are we doing here?
We're going a little softer.
We're a little softened up. We're about got this wrapped up as far as the siding. Watch the tax man show up on us. Randy, you don't like it either, do you?
Don't like it,
Randy don't even live here, and he's upset about it just like I am.
Absolutely.
But we're up here putting soffit up. I haven't showed you none of this today, but we've been working on trying to finish this front of the house with the siding, and then we'll kind of go from there. But this has been a interesting day. He just randomly shows up like that.
Yeah.
Randy said he didn't have an appointment. They never do. They just randomly show up. I'm with you. Put a gate up, says call for an appointment, and then we'll, at our convenience, they can come. And we'll see. We're going to finish this or get some of this done today. You ready, Randy?
Yes.
I'll give you guys a perspective of what we're doing. The soffit goes up underneath. We got all this done over here, and we got to finish that spot down there. But it's looking nice, coming out nicely. So once we get this up, then we'll start doing these battens all the way. Just a process. You got to measure every one of them, cut each of them different. Just takes time. You guys all mingling at the local water hole, I see. Dallas comes straight to take him a little bath and rinse off and do all that. Golly. I need to put you in there with the pigs, huh? There's a pond in there. You enjoy it. Okay, so you guys seeing myself and Randy working on the house, but also seeing the county assessor. Oops. The county assessor showing up. And wasn't real happy about that. That happened last week or so. And that was the second time that we know of them coming this year to assess our property. And that's why I was a little upset about the whole ordeal. We got to get a gate up. But we're going into more detail of that just a little bit. Right now, me and Randy, Dallas, could you stop, please? Me and Randy are going to be working on the well house. We got the siding done on the house. I'll make my way over there later in the video, show you guys the finished product on that. But right now, we're going to be working on the well house, and then we'll go into more detail about what happened with the county assessor a few years ago. Dallas went back to take a bath. Eddie and Chief's over there. So we're working, huh? Couple more days construction, huh? So we're working on the well house to get it to match the house itself. And we've got all the siding around it put up. And now we're gonna start working on the board and batten and the trim today. So we took off these doors right here. We're gonna end up siding them and getting them fixed up because they weren't shutting. The two big ones weren't shutting right. So we're gonna get all that fixed. Couple more days construction. So here's the trim pieces right here. But you can see it's all up all the way around. We did that yesterday. It was all the way around. I don't mind the construction mess. This is actually going to end up being, I'm going to get it cleaned out all the way. So I'll end up getting this cleaned out, and this will actually act as another storage unit for us. We could put some stuff in here, stuff that we got laying around the property that we have nowhere to put right now. It's going to be like a catch-all spot. We can organize it and do all that. And it's going to be a good use of a building out here. So anyways, I've seen him taking pictures of this well house also. So I guess when they come back and assess it for the third time this year, maybe they'll see this video and hey, he's about done. We better go out there right before January 1st and assess it again for the third or fourth or fifth time. I really don't know how many times they've came. I've caught them twice out here. First time was, all right, we'll see you next year, and then we catch them again. I need to check on my cameras. But yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing. Me and Randy's gonna be doing this morning, this afternoon, is hopefully getting a lot of this done. So I'll show you guys what we get done at the end of the day in this video, and we'll talk about what's going on with the government officials showing up, the county assessor showing up, and for multiple times in 1 year. So Randy had an idea to put an overhang up here. That way we can open the doors on, Randy. It won't get rain on us if it's raining. So these will just be freestanding. These are just temporary support beams, and that'll be just like that, right? It'll be good. You were climbing up and down it yesterday.
Yeah. It'll be solid.
Yep, that's Randy built.
You park the truck up there, right?
He said we can camp up out there and park our truck up there and everything else.
Yeah.
Randy, I think you're making yourself an apartment.
Apartment?
Yes, you're gonna move in.
Property manager.
That's right, property manager. So last night I went and got some of the cedar 1x6s, and we're gonna put it in the back and in the front, and then we're gonna go ahead and put the soffit up underneath it. He's getting everything squared away right now. So it works out really well with two people. I've been cutting everything, and Randy will know everything. He gives me the measurements, and we just work as a team like that. We've been doing that with the house process itself. It works out really, really well. And it's a lot quicker with two people doing things like this. And I can't wait to get this done. So I talked about doing a walk-in cooler at the other property. Literally, I could convert half of this, wall it off on the opposite side of where all the well stuff's at. And I could make this with one of our walk-in coolers too, but right now it's just going to be a catch-all storage unit, I think, for all the stuff we got laying around, and kind of go from there. I want to do a walk-in with a butcher shop and all that over there by the house somewhere, and do the siding that we actually mill ourselves on the property down the road. I got a lot of ideas. One thing at a time or two things at a time. We work on multiple things at a time here. What you need? What, you want this saw?
You notice how the plywood stick out a little bit more?
Yeah.
We'll have to compensate for that.
Okay.
I'm gonna make it where square to that. You got a square on you?
Randy, I got a square. I'm a carpenter, ain't I?
Sorry. You can hold it.
Yeah.
That flush?
Can you see them?
Huh?
It's flush with this
Yeah.
end.
Long down. Flush with the top of the down something like, or
It's like at an angle or something.
yeah. I'm up with plywood, and then the 2-4's not out that far. I'll just take it all out.
Okay.
So right here, it's flush with that. Right up there.
Oh, well, it's down.
Down.
Can you see it? Down?
Yeah, down.
More?
A little bit. Hook nipple, right? One now. Now that's gonna go way up. Hang on.
You gonna show me a little trick?
Yeah. If I can get this,
Just don't shoot me in the eye.
I won't. I'll do it like this. I might have to have you shoot it. We'll see.
Let me see it.
Got it?
Yeah, where's the mark at though?
Right there.
Where at, Randy?
Where the studs right here? You know the stud right there? 2-4?
Yeah. Are you good right there?
Yeah. And 2 of them. Release this one, shoot it too.
I can't see where that one's at.
Okay.
Can you got it marked up there?
It's right here.
You got your finger.
Yep.
Another one?
Yep. Okay. And I use this other measure. Yeah, man. That's a pretty decent cedar right there.
That's a nice one. That's about its $15 worth.
Yeah, probably so.
It was crazy, man.
See if I can get it right. You got a little stick you can put in your hand and hold that up?
Yeah. Yep. You have to hit that one down with the hammer, Andy. See how much higher it is right there on the end?
Yeah. You need a bow.
Do what? Got a little bow?
No, just a bow.
Oh. You ain't got that one nailed yet either.
No, that was must have been a 30 bow bore or it's bowed right in here somewhere.
Oh yeah. Yep. Perfect.
Oops.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got it. Came down a little bit though.
Yeah.
One of the new chickens is about to learn the hard way. You're kind of not allowed to go in there, little lady. Gunner, leave her alone. You're gonna have to figure out how you got. Gunner, stop. Gunner. I'm gonna have to go in there. She doesn't know what to do. How'd you get in there? There she goes. There she goes. That's how she got in there. The new ones don't know Gunner likes to play. So let's block that off again. Gunner, you leave the little new hens alone. They did nothing to you. You've got two friends here to play with. Come here. Come here, Gunner. You got friends in here to play with. I'm not feeding Pearl. He's like, Pearl thinks I'm feeding him, and Gunner's like, all right, I'm gonna stay away when you're feeding. Leave him alone. Okay, we are done for the day working on the well house. Let me show you all what we got done. We got about half of it done, and it's looking really, really good. All the chickens. So got the front done, and got all battened. Well, obviously we'll have to come back and do all the caulking and all that, just like on the house. And then this side is finished. What's up? And then this side, we'll just have to do the battens now. But it's all turned out really, really nice. Gonna match the house perfectly. So eventually, we'll have this done. We'll have everything done. We'll get this place cleaned up. I want to bring some sod in on the front yard eventually, and right here in this little island. But I didn't want to do any of that because I know we're under construction, and we're still driving around the yard and all that stuff. So hopefully by this summertime, it'll be looking like a real nice homestead. It doesn't have a bunch of stuff lying around everywhere. But yeah, so it's coming along nicely. So let me tell you what happened the very first time that I met the county assessor here. And we had built the pole barn. We got moved into the pole barn. If you guys didn't know, we built the pole barn house at our other property. Then we built a farmhouse, and then we moved out here. Sold it all, moved out here. So the very first time I ever met our county assessor, we were in the pole barn doing whatever. Someone knocks at the door, ends up being the county assessor. I got there and I'm talking to him, and he's just looking stuff over, being friendly, no doubt, being friendly. But I caught on real quick. This is my first go around with an assessor in general. So I was kind of caught off guard for a second, but then I caught on real quick what was going on. He asked me, so what you got in this place? And I think we had 40,000 in the pole barn. And so that's what I told him. I said, we got 40,000 in it. No way. You got at least 100 in this. I started laughing. I said, no. I said, we did like 85% of the work ourselves and all that. So no, we got 40,000. There ain't no way. And I said, well, I could show you the note on it. We got like 40,000 on it. Okay. And then we're looking at stuff. So right then, the friendliness was kind of like just trying to pry information out of me. And I was like, okay, I understand what's going on. He's doing his job, assessing the situation, but he didn't believe me when I told him that. So that kind of started off not real well, right? So I'm like, I kind of ignored it, went on with it. He assessed the property, did all that. Well, then, I think we lived in that pole barn for like 4 or 5 years before we built the house itself. So fast forward 4 or 5 years, I guess, we built the farmhouse. And the county assessor's wife comes out there to assess. So it's the county assessor, and then his wife is doing assessing too, I guess. She came out there, and I happened to be home that day from work. I think I was working 410. It's probably like a Friday or something. And she's real friendly, comes out. She said, hey, I'm just going to measure some stuff. That's all right. And I was going to do a video on it. And so I just filmed the front of the vehicle. I didn't film the license plate or even her at all. I was out there, and I was actually made a video talking about, man, they get a bad rap. They're doing a job that no one wants to do. And I was like defending the county assessor at the time. Well, after she, I think we talked. I said, hey, I'm going to make a video, but I'm not going to film you or not. She's like, okay, yeah, whatever. No, it wasn't a big deal to her. Well, I guess it ended up being a big deal to her because later on that night, her husband, the county assessor, actually starts messaging me on Facebook. And I actually probably still have every one of these messages. And it didn't go real well at first. Like, I was like, what? He was kind of like on the attack mode. Asked me why I was filming. That was his wife's personal vehicle. And it could have went south really, really quick. But if I remember correctly, I kind of let it blow over. First of all, that's my private property, and you're workers, you, your wife, whoever you got working are on my private property. So I have absolute every right to film their vehicle. It doesn't matter. Like, it don't matter if your personal vehicle or not. First of all, if you're worried about people filming your personal vehicle, then maybe you shouldn't be putting those out on the job. So anyways, so then that's that situation. So after that situation happened, I was like, you know what? I'm over it. Like, I don't even care anymore. Like, come at me like that. It's like, okay. Well, I wasn't going to tell anyone about this, and I haven't told you guys about it. And it's been several years ago. I wasn't going to tell no one about. The only person to know about was my wife and the guy that was messaging me. And because I was going to let it blow over. But the very next day, I get to work, and one of my buddy goes, "Hey," I'm not going to say names, but he goes, "Hey, I seen the assessor at the local store," and he said, "Boy, he told me he really put you in your place." And I said, "Really?" He said that, and he's like, "Oh yeah," which I knew my buddy kind of exaggerates sometimes, but then some of the stuff that he was telling me, I was like, "Wow, okay." So I just handed my buddy my phone and let him read all the messages. He goes, "Oh, that's not anyway how he told me it went." I said, "Well, there it is." So between my buddy, the assessor, my wife, and myself at the time were the only ones that knew anything about it. So that's how that all went down. So now you guys got the backstory on why I do not care. I do not want them on my property unless I know. Because first of all, they're really sneaky, and they come around, and they probably don't know when you're home or not, but you can get someone scheduled down pretty easily, just by school, church, all that stuff. So with all that being said, it's not hard to miss people. It's not hard to miss the homeowner. So when they showed up last week unannounced, kind of just brings back all the stuff I've been through with them, from pretty much calling me a liar about not having enough, only having 40,000 in it. Pretty much called me a liar on that part, and then the whole situation with filming their vehicle, and then now to this. And the wife came out. The county assessor's wife actually came out, I think in February, March. I can't remember exactly when. Friendly. I'm not saying they're not friendly, but and even then that irritated us because we weren't home. We didn't know they were coming, and we just caught her leaving the driveway, and she's asked if the house was done. We said no. She's okay. Well, we'll see you next year. It's all right. We'll see you next year. Well, then now fast forward several months, they're back again, and I don't know if they have been back since then, or if this was the time. That's the only second time they've come. They could have came every month for all I know. I just have never caught them here in the meantime. So that's why I'm kind of sour about the whole situation with the assessor and the office and stuff. I know they got a job to do, but there's a certain way you should go about that job. In the way that they've done us in the past, we don't like it. And I've never openly talked about it until now, but it is what it is. So I'm sure I'll get some heat over this from some of the locals, but I don't care anymore. This is our place, and we should be allowed not to have people here if we don't want them, or at least if they have to come on the property, we should know about it. They should be calling us, sending us a letter in the mail at this date, whatever. I worked for the state for 10 years, and the only time we would go on the homeowner's property is we either try to call them first, left messages, or we put door hangers on their gates and all that stuff, and left our phone number and all that. And if we didn't get a hold, if we could never get a hold of them, then we would go on the state right away and do our job, and that was it. But we always tried to get a hold of the landowners first. So I come with a background having to deal with the public. I know they deal with the public every day, but so did I. And I never, I don't know how you would say, I never went about business in a rude way, you might say, or a way that I accuse a landowner of lying or whatever, I always was professional about it. So with all that being said, we don't like people showing up on our property unannounced. They may even hit me up and message me talking about why I even made a video about it. Well, I can because it's my right. This is our property. We're not going into your home or to your place of work and filming and taking pictures and putting your stuff on the internet. Even though I guess that's what the law is, that you put pictures and stuff of people's property on there. I know I don't like it at all. I know a lot of you guys don't either. So you guys, give me your thoughts down below in the comment section. Have you guys ever dealt with this? Have you ever dealt with a rude or unprofessional government agency in your local county? Everyone else that we deal with is always nice. Like I said, they were always nice up until the husbands messaged me on Facebook several years ago, and I never even thought I'd bring this up. Honestly, I kind of just watched it. But then when he just randomly showed up, and he wasn't rude. But I just didn't like it. I didn't like them just randomly showing up and walking around the whole property and taking pictures of everything. And I just don't care for that. But I don't know where we go from here. Y'all leave me some comments down below, some advice. And what is our right as far as allowing them on our property? Do we have to allow them in? Or do we need to, or can we set up appointments? 100% getting the gate like really, really soon. And I'll probably have my number on the gate. They can look it up. They know our address and everything else. But they can just call for an appointment and all that. And I got some questions for y'all that you guys may know the answer to. Is the local county, is the county assessor legally, can they tax you on portable buildings? And my whole thought on that is, if I sell one of those sheds tomorrow, our camper's on the assessor sheets. I don't know how all that works, but our camper's on there. The camper's at the other property now. So am I going to get assessed for having a camper here and then at the other property? I don't know. So if I had that one shed at the other property and I moved it here. So am I getting taxed over there for a shed that's now over here now that Mays County's going to tax me? How does that work? It just does not make sense to me. I need to do some more research on that and go from there, I guess. But y'all, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope I didn't rant too much, but that's the backstory on what I've dealt with our locals here on certain things, and we don't care for it. And I know everyone tries to play friendly, nice to your face in public and all that. It is what it is. And I don't know, we'll see what happens. But love you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.